this video, I'm going to talk you through the 5 big benefits of selling digital products as opposed to selling physical products. And when we talk about digital products, I'm talking about things like ebooks, apps, games, graphic designs, videos, and websites, to name but a few. Now, of course, one of the big advantages of selling a digital product is you have very low overheads. You don't need the investment of a bricks and mortar store, and you don't need an army of employees. You might hire a VA or someone to assist you, but you don't really need to have a lot of people. And you've got minimal production costs. After all, it's only code. And your distribution costs are tiny. You're going to have to pay for your website and your website hosting, and you might need something like Amazon S3 to handle the storage of your digital product, but you don't have to, send stuff out in the mail like you do when you have a physical product. And you don't have to handle returns. After all, it's only code, it's a digital download. You might be able to deactivate the product if somebody asks for their money back, but you don't have to physically take it back in. And finally, there are higher profit margins. Because your overheads are so low, you can actually charge a lot less for a digital product than you would for a physical product, but you can actually make more money off of the whole thing. Another advantage is you can create your own product fast. There's no lead-in time while a physical product is being manufactured. Now, think about it. Now, I don't know what device you're watching this video on, but it could be on a PC, or it could be on a tablet computer or a smartphone, and that's going to take a lot of time to manufacture. There's going to be time for it to go through the production line in the factory while an army of workers put it together. Plus, of course, you've got all the R&D time that goes into it. You've got to make prototypes, you've got to test it, but you don't have all that hassle when you've got a digital product. And there's quick testing. You can get beta testers to test your digital product. They can get back to you with any bugs, and you can go through the code and you can fix it quite quickly. And it's easy to make updates and changes, as I was just saying, because you don't have a long manufacturing process. If you find a problem, you can tweak the code, put the updated version up on the web space, and start selling it almost immediately. And with a digital product, you can sell it anytime, anywhere. You're not restricted to a particular time and place. Because, of course, your website, blog, or online store is open 24/7. And people can purchase your digital product on their home or work computer, their smartphone, or their tablet device. They don't actually have to physically come to your store to make the purchase. And the customer can be in practically any country. And they can make their purchase in multiple currencies. A lot of shopping cart programs have the ability to convert from one currency to another, and so somebody can buy in their local currency wherever they happen to be. And of course, with a digital product, you're never out of stock because you're selling the same thing over and over again. So there's no need to manage inventory, and you can easily keep up with demand. As long as you've got the bandwidth and the disk space, you're good to go. And finally, there are opportunities to make more money. There are multiple distribution platforms for digital products. So, for example, you could have the same product and you could sell it on your website or your blog. You can sell it on ClickBank, you can sell it on Amazon, you can sell it on JVZoo, and so on. Whereas, of course, with a physical product, the options are somewhat more limited. And you can put together joint ventures to make even more money, to come together to create a product that appeals both to your customers and to your JV partners' customers. And there are affiliate sales. You can recruit affiliates to sell your product for you, and you can also sell other people's products as an affiliate, other products which you know that your customers are going to be interested in. So there you go. That's just 5 big benefits of selling digital products. There are many, many more. In this video, I want to tell you about 5 types of information product that you can create, and you can create these very quickly and very easily. Now, the first type of information products are tips. Tips or ways of doing something. And this is probably the easiest type of product to create, because basically it's just a list with an introduction. And you can simply write it out in your word processor, save it as a PDF, and voila, you have an ebook. And the great thing is that once you've created one ebook, you can easily create another, and another, and another, and the list just goes on and on. Another easy type of product to create are how-to products. And these can be written with illustrations, or they can be videos. And they're very popular because they provide the customer with answers that the customer wants now. You know, if you want to know how to do something, you want to know how to do something, and you don't want to know how to do something next week. You want to know how to do something right now at this very minute. And, you know, there's practically an unlimited range of topics. You know, it can be software training, like how to create a WordPress blog. It can be weight loss, like, you know, how to lose 10 pounds in 2 months. It could be to do with internet marketing, like how to get 1,000 sign-ups to your mailing list, and the list just goes on and on and on. In fact, one of the most popular how-to videos of recent years has been how to tie a tie. And then there are reports. Now, reports are shorter than ebooks, and they contain useful information with a narrow focus, and they can be free or paid for. In fact, a free report makes a great giveaway to help you build your list. And then there are blueprints or plans. Now, a blueprint or a plan is more detailed than a how-to product, and they give step-by-step instructions. And they're also organized in a very easy to follow manner, so somebody can follow the steps and achieve a recognized outcome. And finally, there are case studies. Now, case studies are real life examples, and they demonstrate what works and what doesn't. Now, case studies are usually written, and they're authored by someone who has experience and can be regarded as an expert. And any one of these products can be created in a very short period of time. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how you can add a product in JVZoo. Okay, log into JVZoo and go to the seller's dashboard, and you can see nice big orange button here that says add a product, it's free. Click on that. It takes you through to this page, and there is a video on this page which goes into quite a lot of detail about how you set this up, but I'll just run through it really quickly. Now, first box here is your basic information, and you can check the radio buttons here for whether or not to allow sales. If you check no, then your product will not be available for sale. And this means that actually you can work on setting all this up without your product being live. So you can go through and tweak it and change it before you actually allow sales. Whether you want it shown in the marketplace, yes or no, it's a good idea to have it in the marketplace, because then that allows you to recruit lots of affiliates to sell the product for you. And you have the launch date and time, and you can set this as far in advance as you like, really. And it's a good idea to set your launch date at a time in the future, because that gives you time to recruit affiliates and to do your pre-launch and everything like that. It's always set in Eastern Standard Time for the United States. So you'd need to work out what your local time would be if you're outside the US. And as it says, the product would not be visible in the marketplace until this time. Then you enter your product name in here and the currency that you're going to sell it in. By default, it's set as the US dollar, and it's best to leave it at that setting. The US dollar is, of course, the currency of international commerce. But if you're launching a product for a particularly local audience, then there are other currencies that you can choose from. You can have the Australian dollar or the euro, Japanese yen or pound sterling. Then you enter your product price, and this is the maximum price if it's going to be on a dime sale, and I'll explain about dime sales in a moment. And if it's a recurring payment, then you would enter in the recurring payment in here. Then you would enter your commission payout percentage. That's the amount that you're going to pay your affiliates. And if it's a subscription or it's a multiple payment, then you would check that box, and this opens another window with some further options. Then you've got the quantity. Now, for most digital products, you'll want to leave this empty because, after all, digital products are unlimited. However, if you are, say, having a membership site or a coaching program where you want to limit the number of participants, then you could enter that information in there. Next box is the support email address, and this is the email address that people can use to contact you if they have any problems. Or if you have a help desk, you would enter the URL in there so that people can contact your help desk. Then you have your landing page, also known as sales funnel, squeeze page or pre-launch. And this is the page that you'll want to send traffic to before your product gets launched. And you can use this to build up an early bird list so people can go there, sign up and get information, and you can notify them about when the product goes live. You can use it to recruit affiliates and so on. One thing that you'll also want to do is to check this button, yes, to send all traffic to the sales page after the launch date and time. So basically, before your product goes on sale, all the traffic will go to here, and then afterwards it'll go down to your sales page. And this can be either an externally hosted page or it can be a JVZoo instant sales page. Most people will use an external sales page URL, which is basically the sales page on your website. There is a video about JVZoo instant sales pages actually on the JVZoo website, so I'm not going to go into that in this video. Pass the affiliate ID to your sales page. If you have your sales page set up that way, then you can use it to pass that information on. Generally, you want to keep that checked to no. WF backup sales page URL. This is an alternative URL where sales could be sent if the Warrior Forum goes down. Then you've got the delivery method, and you can have either a protected download or a thank you page. It's a good idea to have a protected download because that means that JVZoo will actually host your product for you. And if you've got something like, say, a video product that's going to take up a lot of bandwidth, then it's a good idea to avail yourself of this service. Then we have the return period, and you can set the number of days. As a rule of thumb, the longer you set this, the less likely you are to get returns. You can check this box to make it eligible for product of the day, and it's a good idea to do that because then you can enter it into this contest, and if it's picked as product of the day, then they will tell a lot of affiliates and people about your product, so it's a good idea to check that. Then we've got the affiliate approval, and you can either have manual approval, auto approve, or no affiliates allowed. They recommend that you set it to manual approval, and that's a good idea, and it's best to leave it at this default setting because that stops you from being scammed, really. Then you have your affiliate terms and requirements and notes to affiliates and your custom receipt info, and this is all fairly self-explanatory. It's HTML enabled, and what you can do is write everything out in your word processor and then copy and paste it in here. When you archive a product, you actually delete it, so it's best to keep that as no as long as your product is on sale. A couple of other things that I'll just show you over on the other side here. First of all, here is make a dime sale. There is a video about dime sales, but I'll just explain it very quickly. Basically, you start off with a start price, and you can increase it by a certain amount every so often. So let's say you start with a start price of say $9.99 and you increase it by 10 cents every 10 sales, then it will keep increasing by 10 cents every 10 sales up until you get to this maximum price. So that's how it works. You've also got things here like autoresponder integration. You can integrate your GetResponse or SendReach or Aweber accounts in with this. There's also webinar integration and so on. Now once you've got everything set up, you can click on this button here to save product, and you can basically get the ball rolling. Your product won't actually show until your launch date and time, but after that you'll be able to start driving traffic and making sales. Be sure to check the yes radio button once your product is ready to go live. And just another thing to mention here, and although JVZoo say that this is free, it is sort of, because they don't charge you anything up front, but they do take a 5% commission out of every sale. So there you go, that's how you can add a product in JVZoo. Have you ever wondered how you go about getting an ebook outsourced? Well, I'll tell you the answers here in this video. And the three most popular sites to do this with are iWriter, which you can find here at iWriter.com, Elance, which is elance.com, and Odesk, which is odesk.com. And the way they work is very similar. Let me just talk you through the procedure for Elance, because that's the one I'm most familiar with, but the other two sites are very similar indeed. Come to the site and click here to post your job. As it says here, it's free, so we click on there. And then if you don't already have an account, you'll be prompted to create one by filling out the information here. If you already have an account, you can click here to sign in. I have an account, so I'm just going to pause the video while I log in. And once you're logged in or you've set your account up, you can post your job. First of all, you give a name to your job. Let's say I want an ebook in the weight loss niche. I can just simply type that in. Then you can enter your description in here, and you want to go into as much detail about what you want the ebook to be about. You want to give some details about the type of length that you want it to be, and as much detail as you can. You're limited to 4,000 characters, so you can get quite a lot in here. And my recommendation would be to write it out in your word processor first and then just simply copy and paste it. So let's just sort of type something in here now. Then you select the category of the work. So you can have admin support, design, multimedia, engineering and manufacturing, finance and management, IT and programming, legal, sales and marketing, or writing and translation. Let's put writing and translation. And then you can add the subcategory. You can all the different types of writing here. Academic writing. Let's select ebooks and blogs. And then you can have the sort of skills that you want. You've got all these different skills here, or you can select skills like article writing, content writing, ghost writing. They'll put them all here for you. Then you can set the work arrangement. You can have either an hourly rate or you can have a fixed price. Probably a fixed price is be easier if you're outsourcing this sort of thing, because then you know exactly how much it's going to cost. You can select the budget. So let's say less than $500. And you can also select other options, like if you only want someone from a particular location, you can select that. How long you want the job posted for, and the start date. And then you click on continue. Then you can select your posting type. You've got featured, verified, or basic. Um, the basic one is free. The other ones you have to pay for, and the other outsourcing sites offer similar types of category. So let's have it as free. Click on select. Then you can preview it, and then click here to post the job. Now obviously this isn't a real job, so I'm not going to post it, but if I were, I could click on here and it would start to display on their website. And like I was saying, the other outsourcing sites work on a similar basis. So there you go. That's how to get an ebook outsourced. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how to install WordPress onto your site. There are two ways that you can do this, and the easiest way is from your web hosting control panel. Now, this particular account that I'm installing WordPress on has cPanel hosting, so I've logged into cPanel. If you have a different type of hosting package, then your control panel might look a bit different. And if your website hosting package comes with either Fantastico or Softalicious, then the installation process is very straightforward indeed. Some other hosting packages come with their own proprietary control panel, which does also include an installation button for WordPress, like I'm going to demonstrate here. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, because this particular hosting account comes with Softalicious, and I'm going to select WordPress. So I click on there. It takes me through to this page, and when I select the Install tab, then you can start to see all the information that you need to enter in. You can choose the protocol, so if your site has a security certificate, you can choose between HTTP and HTTPS. I'm going to leave it at the default settings. You can choose a domain, so if you have a subdomain, then you can add it on here. You can choose the directory. By default, WordPress will set things up in the WP directory. However, if you want to have it in the root directory, then just simply delete that. It'll give you the database name and the table prefix. You can change these if you want. I'm going to leave it all at the default settings. Let's scroll down a bit further. Then you give the site a name and the site a description. Because this is just a demonstration video, I'm going to leave these at the default settings, but normally I would put the proper site name and description and so on in there. Then you want to add the administration account. By default, it will set it up as admin. Personally, I would change this because hackers know that most WordPress blogs have the admin username as admin. Because this is just a demonstration, I'm going to leave it at admin. Password you need to enter in. Let's put something in. Actually, you can click here and generate a random password, although you should be certain to copy and paste that onto your computer's clipboard and then save it as a text file, just so that you know exactly what it is and you don't find yourself locked out of your account. You've got the admin email. It'll set it at admin at your domain by default. I'm going to leave it at this setting. You can set the language. It'll set it as English by default, but you can have all sorts of other different languages if you're in a non-English speaking country. Limit login attempts. That's always a good thing to have, because if a hacker tries to attack your site and tries to make its way into the dashboard, then you can limit that and it'll lock them out after a certain period of time. And then you can set the themes. As it says, this is optional. If you don't select it, a default theme will be installed. And then all you do is come down to the install button, and you can have it email installation details to an email address, and I recommend that you do that because then it's going to have a reminder of what the username and the password is. I'm actually going to skip that because I've got it copied. So now click on install. Let's just go back to the top there. And there we go. You can see that it's now been installed. And if I go to the site, you can see it's installed this installation of WordPress. So what do you do if you can't install WordPress from your web hosting control panel? Well, it is actually quite simple. First of all, you want to come to wordpress.org. Be sure to come to wordpress.org, not wordpress.com, and then click the button here to download the software. You can download it either as a zip file or a tar file. At the time that I'm making this video, the most recent version is version 4.1.1. So download this to your computer's hard drive, and then what you need to do is to click here where it says we've created a handy guide. So just click there, where they will talk you through exactly what you need to do to install WordPress manually. And as they say, it's the famous 5-minute install. It only takes 5 minutes to install this. You'll need some FTP software to install this on your server. And the best one that I know of is FileZilla, which you can download from filezilla-project.org. And this is a free FTP client, and it's very, very easy to use. So there you go. That's how you can install WordPress onto your site.